I have a fascinating story for you on this mystery channel. It's a story about a band whose drummer passed away and the journey to find out exactly what happened. So stick with us as we solve this mystery as it comes up right now. Once upon a time, in a garage far, far away, a four-string bass player used his smartphone to tune his instrument. The garage was the rehearsal space his band used to learn, write, and polish off their cover songs they used during their shows. Today was like every other day, until a bass player noticed his drummer was not sitting behind his kit on his drum throne. Finding this odd, since he saw him there a moment ago, the bass player stepped closer to the kick drum and looked around for the drummer, finding him folded on the ground in the fetal position between the garage wall and the drum throne. "Hey, Bob," the bass player called out. "You all right?" There was no reply. "What's going on?" the voice of the guitar player called out from the other side of the garage. "It looks like Bob's dead," the bass player replied. "What are you talking about?" "Look for yourself," the bass player replied, pointing to the drummer's body. "It doesn't look like he's breathing either." The guitar player moved in close and looked down at the drummer's motionless body. "What do you think happened?" the guitar player asked, scanning around the room. "Looks like a heart attack," the bass player replied. "He's 21 years old. Are you sure?" the guitar player asked. "Take a look at him." "I'm not touching him," the bass player barked. "Maybe we should call 911. "No, you can't," the guitar player shot back. "I have a lot of drugs in my gear bag and the cops will search us." "I have drugs too. We can't just let him lie there. Some dog might find him and eat his dead body," the bass player said. "Then what do you think we should do?" the guitar player asked, with a nervous twitch in his voice. The bass player stood and thought for a while, as he thumped on his low E string. "We can bury his body behind the garage," the bass player said. "There are 2 shovels hanging there on the wall by the door." "Yeah, we could, but what about when Mark gets here?" Mark, the lead singer, was always late to practice because he was a jerk and a loser. Mark can use the post, old digger. "No, I mean Mark might not go along with our plan. You know he doesn't do drugs," the guitar player said. "I have an idea. We drag Bob out from behind his kit, stuff him in your trunk, and take his body out to the dump," the bass player said, nodding his head in agreement with himself. "That will take too long. Mark will be here in a minute." "Call him and tell him practice is canceled." "It is?" the guitar player asked, disappointed. "I wanted to go over my new song." "Who's going to play drums?" the bass player asked. "Bob's dead." You don't know if Bob's dead. You didn't check," the guitar player stated. "Kick his body and see what happens." Just then Mark stepped into the garage wearing a black trucker's cap, holding a bottle of diet soda. "Where's Bob?" the lead singer asked. The bass player pointed to the drummer's body and said, "He's right there, on the floor." The singer stepped in close and looked at the drummer's body. "What's wrong with him?" the singer asked. "Don't know," the bass player replied. "May have had a heart attack. We don't know." "Did you call the ambulance?" "I figured we could take care of this ourselves," the bass player replied. "Are you medically certified for emergency care?" the singer asked. "No, but I can drive his dead body to the dump." "Are you guys packing drugs again?" the singer barked. "Go dump your drugs and call for help," the singer asked. The bass player and singer looked at each other. "Just put your drugs in your car. They can't search without a warrant, and then call the ambulance." Both the bass player and guitar player shrugged their shoulders in agreement and headed towards their gear bags. "Wait a second," the singer said. "How long has he been dead?" "About 20 minutes, the bass player replied. "Crap! Don't call the ambulance. They will ask why we waited so long," the singer said, mad as hell. "How will they even know?" the guitar player asked. "They have ways. Haven't you ever watched those crime investigation shows? All they must do is stick a probe in his body and get a temperature, and they'll be able to tell how long he's been dead," the singer said. "All we have to say is that we found him here and he was already dead when we got here," the guitar player said. "It's his garage. They will ask who opened the door and let you in. And what will you say? That you snuck in through the window?" the singer asked. "Sure, open the window," the bass player replied. "And you brought your gear in through the windows as well and tossed it on the floor," the singer asked. "How stupid are you?" "I'm not stupid," the bass player responded. "It's possible. My gear is pretty banged up."